In the first days, she was born under a fragile sky. A child of gods, yet fragile as any mortal. The world above her shifted, alive and unknowable. From the north, a message came, carrying fate. A summons from the King of Gods. Even the river bowed to his coming. Old power met new life and tested it. She did not break. The me of love and war. All hail Inanna.
You are watching Eventide Codex. Thanks for that. We continue with the films and series Stories from the Past. Your support is very important for us to continue creating these videos. You can support us by liking the video, leaving a comment, and subscribing to the channel if you are ready.
Elsewhere, a mortal fought for breath. And chose the river over death. Freedom became drowning. But fate held him fast.
Finally, thank God.
The warrior lived barely. The hunt was not over. And the trap closed. From mud to silk.
May our triumph be absolute.
A prisoner treated like a prince.
We will not fail.
I feel like I've known you forever.
As do I.
And danger wore a beautiful face.
Every moment is precious with you.
Trust was a luxury he could not afford. A king who smiled while holding a knife unseen. Every word a test.
Yes.
Survival came before pride.
War. To victory!
To Gilgamesh, the honored captive. Above it all, the gods watched. Far to the south, another destiny awakened. The hunt demanded patience. And the chosen saw first. The chase began. But strength was knowing when not to lead.
Keep going! Don't look back!
Through shadow and thorn,
Faster.
she
We're
endured.
almost there. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
More for you.
Each step carried by others.
Stiletto, we have to keep moving.
Now only her remained. Even the beasts questioned her endurance. The hunted had reached its end. Respect before death. Life meeting life.
Guttural ibex cry. Got it.
The sacred act completed. Bound by the hunt, victory brought honor and consequence. You will lead one
May
day,
the spirits watch over you.
but not all hearts celebrated. In another world, a goddess longed. Freedom just out of reach. She wanted what gods could not have.
Brothers, we cannot delay.
The gods argued against a child's wish. Until one was chosen. A meeting that would change everything. Two worlds about to collide. Even courage can tremble. A goddess, unsure how to begin. A mortal, unafraid to speak.
They're so tiny and busy. I wonder where they're going.
And suddenly, a connection. Friendship, born in silence.
Do you hear that?
Even
What is
the
it?
watchers did not
A sound
understand.
from inside.
Bound now by something new. Inanna and Amnut bound now by something new. Beyond walls, freedom waited. For the first time, two girls running into open fields. Small lives held their fascination. A goddess learning the smallest things. Even gods required patience from others. Days passed, unnoticed by the world. But destiny never sleeps. They dreamed of shared blood. Sisters, perhaps. Even gods measure themselves. But time was running out. She felt him before she saw him. The sun god returned. All of gathered to witness. Power arrived in gold. The sun walked among them. Brother and sister. Judgment came quickly.
May the favor of the gods shine upon this city and its people.
And again, the feast of gods.
Prosperity under the watchful eyes of the heavens.
The harvest is my concern, not yours.
War meant little to those above it.
Or there will be consequences.
Power that would not answer. Even the wise could not awaken it. What is a goddess without power? Doubt took root. Power just beyond reach. A gift or a burden? She could not remain weak. Inanna pacing alone in temple. She could not remain weak. A new day brought new resolve. Back to the world below gods. Life raw and unruled. Conflict even in the smallest forms. Love and war.
You are watching Eventide Codex. Thanks for that. We continue with the films and series, stories from the past. Your support is very important for us to continue creating these videos. You can support us by liking the video, leaving a comment, and subscribing to the channel if you are ready.
Your time is over!
The world she ruled burned. And he was caught within it. Not all chains were visible.
He watches us from the ziggurat. We must hurry.
He played the game. But kings always watch. And night held secrets. Ninshubar is far away. Strength was growing. A leader forged by trial. Her people followed. But shadows lingered. Above all, she waited. Something stirred. At last, Inanna, noticing the glow, then she would force it. Even the heavens shifted.
What is that in the sky?
The world felt it. She would not be small.
And neither would he.
And neither would he. Nor her. Three paths converging.
Glory awaits us!
goddess of love, and war. The balance was breaking. She would define her power, not inherit it. Choices were coming. Journeys would begin. And the world would change. It had already begun. The rise of a goddess. The boundary was breaking. She was no longer waiting. Power awakened. The world felt her.
I will not yield. Never.
Even kings bowed to it.
Run.
Nature itself bent. But not all would yield. Some would adapt. And some would change. A goddess was not born, she was made. The sky no longer belonged to men. They felt her and feared her. But one man stood. God met king. Power recognized power.
Keep the pace. The city is just beyond the dunes.
War answered.
Right on. Forward. Maintain the line.
An army without hesitation.
Advance. Keep the formations tight. Forward. Follow the dust. Faster. To the ziggurat.
And a king without fear. The hunt had begun.
Not all fought for kings.
Not all fought for kings. Some fought with mind. Every move calculated.
Run! They're coming!
And some simply survived. Then came the storm. Steel answered steel. The king unleashed. The goddess observed. Precision cut through chaos. And control walked into war. Invisible moves decided fate. Strength overwhelmed many.
By the gods!
Fear broke lines.
Commit to the divine path.
Skill defeated strength. Speed claimed victory. Silence killed. War consumed all. Then she intervened. Divinity reshaped war. Even he felt it. And he adapted. War escalated. Night offered no mercy. The hunt turned lethal. Strategy met resistance. Pain did not stop him. Power demanded control. Fear began to change. Kings collided. War narrowed to two. But gods decide endings. Every eye turned. Timing was everything. Amnut moving closer, and courage followed. Strength surged. Precision answered. Power reached its peak. Sky splitting, the heavens opened. All was revealed. Everyone frozen in moment. For one breath, silence. Then everything changed. Dust settling over ruined battlefield. War left its mark. Even kings fall. Akka standing wounded but alive. Survival defined victory. Control remained. And innocence was gone. The goddess had changed. Power had a cost. War never truly ends. Another begins. And enemies endure. Ninshubar leading survivors. And shadows remain. And some are transformed. The goddess walks on. But the sky remembers. And watches. The world has changed. Forever. Inanna Gods of War, the legend begins.